So they said to me, "Sir, can you review this Snyder Cut? It's called the Snyder Cut." And I said, "Of course." And they said, "It's about the Justice League." And I said, "Is this like a Black Lives Matter thing?" And they said, "Sir, no, it's a great strong comic book movie." And I said, "Okay, we'll look into it, we'll look into it." And then they told me it was 4 hours long. I said, "That's too long. How am I supposed to watch OAN and Newsmax when I'm watching a 4 hour movie?" But I watched it. I bet you couldn't. But I watched it. I thought there were some strong elements. And they asked me, they said, "Sir, can you focus on Batman with your review?" And I said, "Of course." And it makes total sense, doesn't it? We're both very handsome, very rich, very strong, and we date beautiful models. And I think I've had even better than Batman. But overall, I thought the movie was too long. I thought they gave, I don't know if this is because of the 1619 project, but they were focusing very much on also an African American robot in the movie, and I thought this is not the Superman and Batman we grew up with, where they're running around with a black robot friend. Okay, so I thought there was too much influence. Okay, and we want to do patriotic movie reviews from now on. So overall, I thought it was mediocre with too much left-leaning nonsense. But yes, I am sort of the Bruce Wayne of modern times. So we'll let other people talk about the other characters, okay, very strongly, not as strongly as me. But overall, not so good. And we'll see what happens. So Donald Trump, my dad, obviously, he asked me to do this. He said, "Don, do Wonder Woman because Ivanka, I don't want her associated with this." So I said, "Oh, okay, I'll do Wonder Woman." Probably because she looks so much like Kimberly, right, Kimberly? You kind of look like Wonder Woman if you sort of stopped going to the gym and had a couple of screws loose. But anyway, I watched this, and obviously the left is never going to watch this movie. They would watch it if it was the Social Justice League. But I paid for that joke, by the way. And but the point is, Wonder Woman is great. That's the kind of woman we support in the Trump GOP. It's a big tent. It's a big tent. You know, like if you are a 5'11" Israeli model with superpowers, we welcome you. We support that kind of feminism. The left talks a good game, but they don't support this kind of feminism. So we are strong supporters of Wonder Woman. And if Gal got out. If Gal, we'll call her Gal, although the left would probably say, "Don't call her a gal, call her a cis woman." But I will tell you this, if she's ever interested in seeing me, we can make that happen. Kimberly is very open, and she's used to getting broken up with also. So Gal, call me, okay? And I support you in this movie. I think I liked it more than most people on this list. So good job. And, as my dad says, we'll see what happens.
Hi everybody, Mike Lindell here, founder and CEO of MyPillow. When they told me they wanted me to watch the Snyder Cut, they asked me to pay extra attention to Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa, probably because we're both very masculine men with strong facial hair. I thought they could have given Aquaman more time, okay, because his standalone film, Aquaman, was quite strong for the DC universe, but here he's basically window dressing. And while I was watching the movie, I thought to myself, let's focus more on the strong guy with the strong mustache, and they didn't. So the Snyder Cut was sort of disappointing for me. I thought they could have focused more on Aquaman. Overall, a waste of time for me. And please don't tell Jason Momoa that Lisa Bonet and I had a thing back in the day.
So I was asked by former President Trump to review the Justice League from the perspective of the Flash, which I understand because we can both be very fast when we want to. He can run at the speed of light, and I can get Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court in a matter of weeks. The movie is 4 hours long. It's a very long movie. And I've instructed my members that if we are forced to filibuster the old-fashioned way, we're just going to play the Snyder Cut on an endless loop until the Democrats give up. So because of that, I'm prepared to give the Snyder Cut an A+.
So they asked me, they said, Dave, we want you to review the Snyder Cut from the perspective of Cyborg. And I said, first of all, what's the Snyder Cut? And they said, it sounded like a bris. And they said, it's a 4-hour DC movie. And I said, what is this, Roots for nerds that can't afford Marvel? And then I looked at the movie and they want me to do Cyborg. Now I'm more famous than most of the motherfuckers on this video. Cyborg is like the 5th most popular character. But they asked me, and if you don't know, Cyborg happens to be the one black guy in the movie. And I thought, okay, well, then we'll see. You know, I can do that. I get why they asked me. You know, I'm motherfucking Mitch McConnell talking about black people. And then I watched the movie. Dude's in the movie for like 25 minutes. He's got a bad attitude. Basically, he's a football player. You know, he couldn't be something else. He had to be an athlete. Gets hit by a car, and then becomes like a broken-looking Terminator with like cyber skills. And I said, this motherfucker, how dare they ask me to do this? But I did it because they paid me a lot of money, and I gotta say, I fucking hated the movie. I hated that shit. I hated it.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I was asked to review the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, and they asked me to concentrate on Steppenwolf, who it turns out is the villain in the movie. Not sure why, because he seemed to be very motivated, very passionate about his work, and very strong in achieving results. Also, as you know, Steppenwolf was a great band. They had hits like Magic Carpet Ride, and when I asked an intern if she wanted a Magic Carpet Ride, apparently that was taken out of context, as well as Born to Be Wild, which is another great Steppenwolf song. And apparently another intern did not like it when I said that I was born to be wild. But as far as Justice League goes, specifically Steppenwolf, I don't want to give any spoilers to the movie, but he was not treated fairly, and I do believe that had he had a ventilator, he might have been able to deal more efficiently with what the Justice League was throwing at him. So if there are no more questions, I will pass it on to my next critic from the JL League.
Well, as you can imagine, I was pleased as punch to receive that phone call from our president, Donald J. Trump. And after I had profusely apologized for not making him president on January 6th, he asked me to be part of this Justice League film review, and I immediately said yes. Because when Donald J. Trump asks you a question, you don't say no. And we spoke, and I determined that I wanted to review Superman. I wanted my focus to be strongly on Henry Cavill's rippling, ripped body. And I have to say, this movie delivered. I had to wait quite a while for Henry Cavill to show up, but when he did, I was at full attention. So I would give Justice League 4 out of 4 newly erected Jesus statues. That's how I review films. So thank you to our bold movie review leadership of our President Donald J. Trump. It was a great pleasure to review this with you, sir.